There are many ways to know a person. You can listen to what they say. You can watch what they do. But there is one thing that reveals the truth faster than anything else. Money. Not small money. Not just enough to survive. But more than enough. More than a person could ever need. Because when there are no limits, there are no excuses. That is what a man named Daniel Kong wanted to understand. Seoul is a city of light. At night, it shines with glass buildings and moving cars. People come here to chase success. But behind the lights, there are quiet stories. And in one of those stories lived Daniel Kong. Daniel Kong was rich, very rich. He owned companies in technology, shipping, and real estate. People respected him. Some people feared him. But no one truly knew him, because Daniel did not trust easily. Years ago, Daniel loved someone. It was real love, but she left him. She was afraid of his dangerous world. That moment changed him. Since then, Daniel stopped believing in love. He believed in actions. He believed in results. He believed that people only show their true selves when they have power. So Daniel made a decision. He would test people. Not with questions, but with money, unlimited money. Daniel invited 4 women into his life. Each one was different. Each one had a different way of thinking. The first woman was Lily. Lily loved beauty and attention. She enjoyed luxury and fashion. She wanted to be seen. The second woman was Grace. Grace was smart and ambitious. She built her own business. She believed in growth and success. The third woman was Anna. Anna was kind and gentle. She worked with children. She believed in love and simple happiness. The fourth woman was Nina. Nina was quiet. She observed more than she spoke. She thought deeply before making decisions. None of them knew they were part of a test. Daniel also had someone working in his house. Her name was Zara. Zara came from Africa. She moved to Korea for a better life. Her journey was not easy. She had to learn a new language. She had to adjust to a new culture. Even the cold weather was new to her. But Zara stayed strong. She worked quietly. She did her job well. She did not try to impress anyone. She simply focused on her work. Zara understood something important. She knew what it meant to have very little. Because of that, she respected every opportunity she had. One evening, Daniel invited the 4 women to dinner. The room was calm and beautiful. Soft lights, quiet music. Everything felt planned. During dinner, Daniel placed 4 black cards on the table. Each card had no limit. He said, "Take one." The women looked surprised, but they each took a card. Daniel said, "Use it any way you want." He gave no rules. He gave no instructions. This was the test. Lily started spending immediately. She bought clothes, shoes, and expensive bags. She went to luxury stores. She wanted to look like she belonged in Daniel's world. First, she felt happy, but the feeling did not last, so she kept spending more. Grace used the money differently. She invested it. She grew her business. She made smart decisions. She saw the money as a tool, a way to move forward. Anna used the money with emotion. She bought thoughtful gifts. She planned kind moments. She wanted to create love. She believed something real could grow. Nina did not rush. She spent very little. She watched. She waited. She wanted to understand Daniel first. Days passed. Then weeks passed. One morning, Daniel saw Zara working. She was arranging flowers near a window. The light was soft. The moment was quiet. Daniel gave Zara a black card. He said, "Use it." Zara was surprised. She said, "Are you sure?" Daniel nodded. She accepted the card. Zara did not rush to spend the money. She took her time. She thought carefully. First, she called her family. She asked what they needed. Then she used the money slowly. She paid for her mother's medical care. She helped repair a water source in her community. She paid school fees for children. In Korea, she continued living simply. She bought only what she needed, nothing more. She did not try to show anything. She did not try to impress anyone. After everything, she still had money left. She did not spend it. Weeks later, Daniel reviewed everything. He looked at how each person used the card. He was not surprised by the 4 women. He expected their choices. But Zara's choices were different. There was no waste, no luxury. Every action had meaning. Daniel read her record again, slowly, carefully. For the first time in a long time, he felt something new: respect. Daniel asked Zara to come speak with him. He said, "Why did you use the money this way?" Zara answered calmly, "Because I know what it means to not have it." Daniel listened. He said, "You could have bought anything." Zara nodded. "Yes, but I already have enough." Daniel paused. "Enough?" he asked. Zara smiled softly. "Enough is knowing what you truly need." The room became quiet. Soon after, Daniel met the 4 women again. They were hopeful. Each believed she had done something right. Daniel spoke clearly. "I have seen your choices." One by one, he let them go. Lily felt confused. Grace felt disappointed. Anna felt hurt. Nina understood and accepted it. Daniel did not choose any of them. Instead, something inside him had changed. He started to notice Zara more, not as a worker, but as a person. They began to talk. Simple conversations, honest conversations. Daniel listened. Zara shared her thoughts. There was no pressure, no performance, just understanding. For the first time in many years, Daniel felt calm. Not because of money, not because of power, but because of connection. Money can show who people are, but sometimes the quietest person shows the deepest truth. The house did not change. The same walls, the same quiet halls, the same soft footsteps in the morning. But something inside the house had changed. Daniel felt it, even before he understood it. After letting the 4 women go, life returned to normal. Or at least it looked normal. Daniel went back to work. Meetings, decisions, late nights. But now, there were moments when he paused. Moments when his mind drifted, not to business, but to simple conversations, to quiet words, to Zara. Zara continued her work as usual. She cleaned, she organized, she moved through the house with the same calm presence. Nothing about her behavior changed, and that was what Daniel noticed the most. One evening, Daniel returned home earlier than usual. The house was quiet. He walked into the kitchen. Zara was there, preparing tea. He stood there for a moment, watching, not in a strange way, but in a thoughtful way. "You're still working?" he asked. Zara looked up. "Yes," she replied gently. Daniel nodded. Then he did something unusual. He sat down. "Can I have some tea?" he asked. Zara smiled slightly. "Of course." She poured the tea slowly, carefully, placed it in front of him. They sat in silence for a few seconds, not uncomfortable, just quiet. Then Daniel spoke. "Do you miss home?" Zara paused, then nodded. "Yes, sometimes." "What do you miss the most?" he asked. She thought for a moment. "The people," she said, "and the simplicity." Daniel looked at his tea. "Simplicity," he repeated softly. That word stayed with him. Days passed. Their conversations became more frequent. Still simple, still calm, but deeper. Zara spoke about her childhood, about long walks, about community, about sharing. Daniel listened, really listened, not to respond, but to understand. And slowly, something inside him began to soften. But outside the house, not everyone had moved on. Lily had not forgotten. She could not understand what happened. She had done everything right. She had looked perfect. She had fit into his world, or at least she thought she did. One afternoon, Lily sat with her friends at a cafe in Gangnam. She spoke about Daniel, about the test, about how it ended. "Did he choose someone else?" one of her friends asked. Lily shook her head. "No," she said, "but something feels unfinished." Her curiosity turned into something else, something quieter, something sharper. Jealousy. Grace also could not ignore it. She had gained from the experience. Her business had grown. Her network had expanded. But still, she felt like she had lost something. Not Daniel, but the idea of winning. "I don't lose," she said one evening, sitting alone in her office. But this time, she had. Anna tried to forget. She went back to her work, back to her routine, back to her quiet life. But sometimes, she would remember the moments she created, the hope she felt. And it hurt, not deeply, but softly, like a memory that refuses to fade. Nina, on the other hand, understood. She had seen it coming, not clearly, but enough. "This was never about us," she said quietly one day. But even she felt something unresolved. And slowly, one by one, they all became curious again. Not about the money, not about the test, but about Daniel and who he had become after it. Weeks later, Lily made a decision. "I need to see him again," she said. Not to beg, not to impress, but to understand. Grace felt the same. Anna hesitated, but followed. Even Nina agreed. And so, one evening, they all returned to Daniel's world. The house felt the same, but the energy was different. Zara opened the door. For a brief moment, their eyes met. And in that moment, something shifted. Lily noticed first. "Who is she?" Lily asked quietly. Grace observed silently. Anna felt something she could not explain. Nina simply watched. Zara greeted them politely. "Welcome," she said. Her voice was calm, respectful, unaffected. But the women felt it. There was something about her, something they could not ignore. Daniel entered the room. He looked at them, not surprised, not bothered, just aware. "I didn't expect to see you again," he said. Lily stepped forward. "We needed closure," she said. Daniel nodded slowly. "Then sit," he replied. They sat. The room filled with quiet tension. Then Lily spoke. "Did you choose someone?" Daniel did not answer immediately. Instead, he said something else. "I learned something." Grace leaned forward slightly. "What did you learn?" she asked. Daniel looked at them, then said calmly, "That people don't change when they get money. They reveal who they already are." Silence. Anna looked down. Grace said nothing. Lily's expression tightened slightly. Nina watched carefully. Then Lily asked the question again. "Did you choose someone?" This time, Daniel answered. "I chose peace," he said. That answer confused them. But before they could speak again, Zara entered the room with tea. Simple, quiet, natural. And in that moment, everything became clear. Lily's eyes narrowed slightly. Grace understood instantly. Anna felt her heart sink gently. Nina nodded almost invisibly. It wasn't spoken, but it was understood. Zara placed the tea down. She did not look at Daniel. She did not try to explain anything. She simply did her work. But her presence said everything. After that evening, nothing was the same. Lily left with a heavy silence. Grace left with a new kind of respect. Anna left with quiet acceptance. Nina left with understanding. But the feeling they all carried was the same. They had been replaced. Not by beauty, not by power, but by something they did not have. And that feeling stayed with them. Inside the house, Daniel stood by the window later that night. Zara was in the kitchen. He looked toward her, not with control, not with expectation, but with something new, care. And somewhere deep inside him, a question formed. Not about testing, not about proving, but about something he had avoided for years. What if this is real? And for the first time, he did not push that thought away.